are most welcome to the Education and Profession Development e-newsletter. The Education and Profession Development is a department under the Institute of Peace and Security Studies in Addis Ababa University. The Institute of Peace and Security Studies is running an executive master's in managing peace and security in Africa. Today we are most privileged to have one of the participants, a high-profile lady from all the way from Zimbabwe, who is participating in the MPSA program. MPSA program stands for Managing Peace and Security in Africa. Our guest tonight is Miss Druziro Ngengo. How do you pronounce that?
Druziro Nengu.
Druziro Nengo. Yeah, so you are most welcome on this show.
Thank you, Dennis.
How do you greet in Zimbabwe? In language?
Makadini.
Makadini.
How are you?
Okay, thank you. So we want you to tell us, please, can you tell us about yourself, specifically the type of education you received?
Thank you, Dennis. My name is Druziro Nengu. I come from Zimbabwe. I was born during the time my country was still under colonial rule of the British people. So the kind of education I benefited from was what they called the Bantu education. It was specially designed for black Zimbabwean people in the country. I then went to university after independence in 1985. And there was a slight change in the education I then received at university because I started to study African American literature. Although in secondary school I had not done that. And it gave me a new sense of history and a new sense of my identity as an African woman. And I grew this passion to find out more about my gender. I felt something was very missing in the way I had been educated during colonialism and post-independence. So the turning point for me was when I joined the University of Cape Town, the African Gender Institute. It provided some answers to my womanhood, how it was shaped and defined by patriarchy and colonialism. And the new theories I engaged with in the feminist academy gave me a new sense of womanhood, of the way I should liberate myself from the colonial and patriarchal frames. And then from Cape Town University, I went to King's College London, another turning point in my academic life. This is when I started engaging with issues of peace and security for African women. And because I'm an African woman coming from Africa, it meant a lot for me. And this course also at King's College was very practical in that it showed me ways of bridging theory and practice. I could apply the gender theories that I learned at University of Cape Town to the actual situation in Africa, the conflicts and women, how they suffered in conflict in Africa. So this is my line of education. After King's College, I went back to work and then I engaged with MPSA Addis Ababa University to study the Master in Managing Peace and Security in Africa.
Oh, thank you very much. That's a very, very good background. You have been in good universities. You are again mastering. You have studied from King's College London. You have been in South Africa. Wonderful. You are currently working with the UN for Women. Wonderful. So, Ms. Druziro, please can you tell us what is it like to, you are in the middle of your career, you are working, you have children at home. What is it like to mix all those three things when you are also studying the MPSA program?
Thank you, Dennis. The word that I'm going to use is multitasking. It means to multitask. I have to manage my work here at university and do it well. And so far I have scored A grades in all the assignments I have done. I have to manage my work back in the country. I receive inquiries, more than 10 inquiries from my office, and I manage that every day. I also manage my children's affairs because I'm a single mother, but all thanks to technology, because we can now combine everything through technology and the world has become a single market and it's very easy.
Thank you very much. Ah, that's a wonderful multitasking. I like that. So we go to the next question straight
Yes.
away. You have other qualifications. How does the MAPSA course compare? What are some of the unique qualities in this MAPSA course that has helped you to really balance with those so many responsibilities you have?
The unique quality about the MAPSA course is that it is happening at the right moment in African history, when Africans are reawakening and are ready to take up their continent to the next level, especially in view of the AEU's Vision 2063. So this makes the MAPSA course unique, and the fact that it is grounded in the realities of conflict in Africa. And we are using the Democratic Republic of Congo as our point of reference, as a case study. And whatever is happening in the DRC is a microcosm of conflicts on the continent. This is what makes the course very unique to me.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's powerful. Are you enjoying the MAPSA course?
I am indeed enjoying the course because it brings shared learning and experience from different scholars coming from different parts of the continent, and I'm getting enriched and also bringing in my experiences from Zimbabwe, working with women in the security sector with UN Women.
Oh, wonderful. Another question. Why is this MAPSA course important for a peace and conflict practitioner?
The course is important for a peace and conflict practitioner because it is uniquely for African. And as I said, Africa has developed. We now have the African peace and security architecture, and it requires a lot of expertise from people whose visions and commitment are grounded in Africa. And this makes the course very important because it gives us the tools, it equips us to provide the APSA with the expertise that they need, and also to provide Africa with the solutions that it needs in the face of the current conflicts.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Ms. Duziro, if I may ask, what are some of your interests outside work and studies? You look to be a jovial person. What are some of the interests?
My background is I am a feminist, African feminist. I work with women, grassroots women. So I engage with women's groups back home in Zimbabwe, women in the market. I do lots of writing and reading sessions with them. I do lots of peace building activities with the women, storytelling as a healing method. So I love, outside my work and studies, to do work for peace building with women from many communities in Zimbabwe. I also love to read and write, and I'm writing a novel based on my personal experiences as a woman born during colonialism and living post-colonial.
Oh, you are writing for us a novel. That's powerful. You know, they have been saying that we don't always want to write here to document things here in Africa. That's very good. If I may ask you, you look to be a very visionary person. What are some of your plans after the MAPSA course?
Thank you, Dennis. After the MAPSA course, the first thing, of course, is to plow back the gained experience into developing the context of my country and the shape of African history in general. I've been tracking my growth. There has been a moment of expansion where I feel if, as a woman, I don't engage formally with politics and bring the positive vision that I have for African politics, no one else will do it for me. So I am considering engaging at a much higher level in the political affairs of my country and of Africa after this course.
Oh, wonderful. That's very encouraging. You know, it's very important to know your next step in everything you do. My last question, or second last question to you. You have started this MAPSA course.
Yes.
A very executive and unique course. It's really very unique. When you look at some of those course units, what is the most appealing course unit you have encountered in this executive masters that is making the whole of Africa whisper?
The most appealing unit of the course for me has been where guest lecturers are brought in from different parts of the world to talk to us about the conflict situation in the DRC, which is the case study for our studies. The reason why I find this most appealing, firstly, is we gain a lot from the deep experiences that is brought by professionals, some of who come from the continent and some from outside Africa. We have benefited a lot and understand better the nuances in the DRC conflict. But I find this also to be the most insightful bit of the course, in the sense that it has challenged my feminist epistemological standpoint. I feel challenged. I've listened to all the professors who bring a wealth of knowledge to IPSS. They talk about the conflict in the DRC. They capture every dynamic, from colonialism, the process of colonization, the process post-colonialism, when the African leaders are losing it and are legitimizing negative processes of power in order to remain in control at the expense of their own people. But I feel they are missing a very important narrative to the whole thing. And I'm yet to see the first visiting professor who will weave in the narrative of women to the conflict in the DRC. And my take is, unless we start to address the conflict in the DRC realistically, according to what Gautang terms an inclusive mode of also including women